This is the Dynasty Market Report, where we look at a specific asset in Dynasty Fantasy Football and we track real trades that have happened so that we can determine should you be buying, selling, or holding with that specific asset. Because one of the best things you can do in fantasy football is kind of move away from your own takes and play the market. Find out what the managers in your league think of different players, how it compares to the rest of the market or other managers in your league, and make trades based on that. Today, we're looking at A.J. Brown, wide receiver currently of the Philadelphia Eagles, who in this last year, in 2025, had actually a pretty decent year, but from what can tell, the market has been pretty down on him. So A.J. Brown, next year when he is playing, he'll be 29 years old, and this past year, he was 11th in points per game in PPR scoring, and the market it seems kind of low on him. I know I'm kind of giving some spoilers here, but let's just jump right into it. The Eagles had a disappointing year. Coming off of their Super Bowl, they were bottom half in points per game and bottom 10 in the league in total yards per game. But A.J. Brown, through all of that, actually had an okay fantasy year. There was a lot of complaining, a lot of stories about the Eagles of who hates who's causing a problem in the locker room, who do the players not like, etc. At this point, I don't know that really matters for A.J. Brown's production. He was actually pretty good. And if you look at some of the points in this graph where we're tracking his value throughout the year, this is Keep Trade Cut, where when you open up the website, it will ask you to rank 3 players as a keep, a trade, or a cut, and then it builds a score on that. The points where we see value dips, like here the first couple weeks of the season, when A.J. Brown was not performing very well. He had some very low scoring weeks early in the season. The Eagles were winning those games. He just wasn't getting used. And here's another big dip that I want to call out. November 12th, A.J. Brown was on a live stream and says, "If you got me in fantasy, get rid of me," and his value took a hit. So even if we're just going from November 4,700 to after he said that, he never really rebounded past where he started. And here's the thing. He was excellent after that. Since saying, "If you have me in fantasy, get rid of me," he was top 5 in points per game those weeks. I had tracked it during the year. After about a month or 6 weeks, he was top 3. So he had a great finish to the year, and his value just has not rebounded. Here he's been eliminated, so it's just kind of sitting at 4,700, which is about a late first. If you have the 4,700, you could probably trade the 107, 108, 109, depending on your league, and get this player, or vice versa. So with that said, around 4,700 is where you could probably get a player for less than a first. If you pull up the trade calculator, you could send a 204 and a 27 second, and it will light up a trade calculator, and it'll even say the seconds are the better side. I don't think we're going to see this in the actual trades. I don't know that we're going to find a lot of situations where you're sending 2 seconds and getting A.J. Brown. And if it were me, I would happily send, the 302. And it would look, oh my gosh, you're paying so much. I would pretty happily send this stuff to get A.J. Brown with the production that he had. I think this number here, 4,700, is a little bit low for the production that you'll get. But let's take a look at real trades and not just hypotheticals. Here are trades made in the past week since he's been eliminated from the playoffs. We don't know his future, but we'll see. So here is the scoring: 2 quarterbacks, some form of PPR, any range of tight end premium from 0 all the way up to 1, and a 12 by 10. You'll also see those on the badges for each trade. Let's start with this first one. A.J. Brown, the 209, the 201. So A.J. Brown and some seconds for the 112, 107, and 205. So if we want to break this down, we could say you're going from the 201 up 1 spot. Kind of negligible. You could almost just cross those out. And then saying you're going from the 209 to the 205 and A.J. Brown for the 107, I may end up just holding here. Staying with A.J. Brown, not necessarily saying that the picks or the players that you take at these picks are going to be the main value here. But if I have A.J. Brown, I think we're selling a little bit low, and I would rather just use these picks to trade for something else. Could I get up to the 107 with just those picks? Possibly. I've seen that happen where you would move from 201 to 107 and pay the 209 to do it. I would be happier doing something like that and keeping A.J. Brown, or trading these picks for vets. Trading the 201 or the 209 for Derrick Henry and something. So I think I'm sticking with the A.J. Brown side because I like what you can do with this package a little bit more. And if I'm a selling team, if I'm a rebuilder, I guess so. I may try to take another player like here, A.J. Brown and Javonte Williams, if I'm a rebuilder, try to pair something that might be a little bit harder to move rather than picks, which are generally easier to move and will hold their value. I would rather, if I'm moving A.J. Brown and stuff like this, be pairing it with Alec Pierce, be pairing it with, like we said, Javonte Williams or something like that. Here's A.J. Brown for the 27 third, 27 first, and the 205. And this could be enough to get me to move. Again, this would have to be a team where I'm rebuilding. If I feel like I'm contending this next year, I think I'm going to get good production from A.J. Brown that I'm just not going to be able to get with a first, a second, and a third. I think I could maybe trade my way back to the same production, but I would probably rather have A.J. Brown. It's very close on that one. Here, if I have Tet McMillan, am I doing this trade? No, I'll take the upside of Tet. If I have A.J. Brown and Javonte Williams, am I doing this trade? Also, kind of no. I think this is one that just kind of the market has right. It's a good trade on both sides. I don't know how much I believe in Javonte Williams to hold his value going into next year. But with A.J. Brown, I think we're still going to get pretty good production. Here, A.J. Brown or Sam Laporta, just straight up in a tight end premium. This is another one that I think is pretty spot on. At this point, would I move Sam Laporta for A.J. Brown? Actually, now that I'm saying it, I probably would just take Sam Laporta, where I feel a little more sure in what he's going to be and that he will hold his value for years going forward, where A.J. Brown is 29. And now we can start to talk about, what is he next year? At 29, is he on the Eagles? It's unlikely. There's a lot of talk that they're going to trade him. Now, there are a lot of spots where I would be happy with the trade. If he went to the Bills, if he went to the Patriots, if he went to the Commanders, Packers, Browns, there's a lot of different spots A.J. Brown could go to that need a wide receiver where he could slot in and be really good. Or I could just have Sam Laporta in a league with a half PPR tight end premium. I may just take Sam Laporta for the tight end premium and the younger age. Here's one where the trade feels right. A.J. Brown for a random 27 first. Give me A.J. Brown, though. I think I could just do more. Like, could you get Sam Laporta for a random 27 first? Possibly. It seems unlikely. So if we're looking at different crossovers, A.J. Brown to Laporta, if I went a 27 first to Brown and then Brown to Laporta, I think I'm coming out ahead. Here's a bigger one with a bigger name involved. A.J. Brown, the 104 and a 27 second for Neighbors. In that spot, give me Neighbors. A 27 second doesn't mean that much to me. And going from the 104 and moving A.J. Brown, I think I'll take Neighbors. Here's a situation where if you're thinking about the follow-up trade, I think you can just come out in a better spot. Even if you wanted a first-round pick back. So if you sent A.J. Brown, the 104, a 27 second, and you got Malik Neighbors, could you then down tier from Malik Neighbors to someone else and a first-round pick? Like, how far is Justin Jefferson? Maybe you have to throw in Malik Neighbors and a little bit of something for Justin Jefferson and a first, something like that, where I would be looking at trades like that, where Malik Neighbors allows me to do more in a trade that's pretty even, so I'll take Malik. Sam Laporta, A.J. Brown, and a second for Nico Collins. This one seems pretty unlikely to happen in most leagues, where you got to be taking Laporta, Brown, and the second here. And if you could get A.J. Brown for that cheap in any type of deal, any type of throw in, where here it seems like this should be Nico Collins for Laporta and a second, and then A.J. Brown is kind of just getting thrown in. So if you have that, see if you can get A.J. Brown as a throw in your league. It's unlikely, though. Here's one that seems about even. 107 and the 311 for A.J. Brown. I might stick with AJ there. AJ Brown for Saquon Barkley, two aging players. That is pretty even, and it's going to go positionally for me. I think Saquon Barkley will probably have a little bit more value. And then here's one where I would probably just take the pick. AJ Brown for the 105. I'll take the 105. So that's going to wrap stuff up on the trades here. If this helps you make a trade in your league, let me know with a like, a comment, a subscribe. If you're looking for a specific player that you want to see covered, let me know in the comments and we'll add them to the list. Right now in January, we are looking at players who have been eliminated from the playoffs so that we can have a few days to let their market settle with actual trades. Some players have big playoff games and that boosts their value. So we are trying to avoid that right now. And there's a lot of players that we can still cover. We are at the ending here. Thank you very much for making it all the way to the end, and we will see you in the next one.